Okay, good morning, everyone. Parshat Shavua, Boker Tov, Parshat Tazria. It's good to have our Parsha class, Baruch Hashem, on today again. So Parshat Tazria in the beginning talks about birth, right? Yoledet, the lady gives birth. Torah says for a boy 7 days, and for a baby girl for 14 days. The mother considered to be a nida. She is forbidden to her husband for 14 days or 7 days, depends boy or girl. And nowadays,
14 days for girl and why is that? 14 days
it depends how you want to look at it. If you want to be very feminist, they say because a girl has more kedusha. When it lives, brings more tuma, right? Has more holiness. When the mother is carrying a girl, it's like a live person and a live Jew or a dead Jew. Why? A dead Jew brings tuma. Because when a Jew is alive, has so much kedusha. When it leaves, tuma takes over. A non-Judaized, it doesn't have too much kedusha to begin with, so it doesn't bring too much tuma. The girl is the same thing because it has a lot of kedusha. Hashem fills the body of a mother as something kadosh. When it leaves, tuma comes in. A boy has less kedusha, so when it leaves, less tuma comes in. So 7 days is good enough. That's one side of a coin. The other side of a coin is here Chizkuni brings down that when a lady gives birth, they go through so much pain. They swear I would never ever have a baby again. Okay, I don't know if now every time. Either they say, I swear I'm going to kill my husband that got me to this.
Only in that moment.
Oh no, of course. That was the childbirth has a lot of pain. So because she swears that I'm not going to have a child, Hashem gets upset. So he punishes her with tuma, that she is forbidden for now. So for a boy, she regrets much faster than a girl. Most mothers like a baby boy more than a baby girl. So the baby boy is born in 7 days. I regret. I want to have another child. For a baby girl, it takes her 14 days to say I regret. So as soon as she regrets the shavua, the swear she took, she becomes tahor again. She becomes pure and she can go to mikveh. Nowadays it's more than 14 days. The Torah puts down something that's called Yemei Tahora, days of pureness. Nowadays you don't have that. She has to become fully pure, completely stopped, bleeding to make her pure. Back in the time of Torah, even some of early Mishnah, that was the minhag. They would allow her back to her husband after 7 days or 14 days, going to mikveh. Nowadays, probably they have to wait 5 to 6 weeks. So it's a very interesting Chachamim say that the Gemara in Nida that says, why did Hashem make a lady separated from her husband? Why? Concept of Nida. So she's not allowed to use. She has to be separated. She can't share a food, bowl of food with you. She has to be in a separate bed. So much. You cannot touch, cannot pass something over to her, or she cannot give it to you. Why did Hashem make it so hard? Why not be allowed, like non-Jews? Be always mutar, always okay. Why?
So it would be a period of separation.
Why?
So when they go back together,
they get attracted.
The attraction becomes more strong.
Very good. So Gemara says, because if you are used to her too much, you get disgusted and you don't want it anymore. And you don't want her anymore. So Hashem said, you know what? 7 days minimum. You separate. When she comes back, she's so beloved as if a new bride coming to the chuppah. The first time, there's more, she's more exciting. So the problem in every society that do not keep laws of nida is that they get disgusted with their wives. They don't like her anymore. Because she's always there for them. They never, it's like you like ice cream, but you get ice cream every day. After 3 days, I don't want ice cream anymore. How much ice cream can I eat? Even though you love ice cream, but you don't want to have it anymore because you're getting too much of it. Anything too much, no good. So Hashem knew that. Hashem knew the psychology of people, our nature. So Hashem said the best for us is to keep laws of nida. It's not to torture us. It's for us to have more solid marriages and more solid families. Unfortunately, nowadays you see so many people cannot commit to one wife. They cheat. They do crazy things. Because they had enough of it, and they're looking for something exciting, more exciting. They go there, they get used to the second one, and then third one, the fourth, never enough. When you get whatever you want, same time, anytime, same moment, you lose the chashivut, it loses the importance. So Hashem put that very important rule of Nidan rule that every Jewish has to keep, and it's for sure it's for our benefit. They say there are two kinds of bonding. One is physical bonding, one is emotional bonding. When it's always physical, there's no emotional bonding, right? Because only the attraction is the physical attraction. During a period of nida, a person should work on the higher level of bonding, on the emotional bonding. Doesn't have to be a touch. Doesn't have to be. I know somebody who told me when he started to become more religious, he started to become shomer negia, not to touch a lady. And he had a co-worker, a non-Jewish lady, the same office. He said, "What are you reading?" He said, "I'm reading a book about I think called magical touch, something like that, about being shomer negia, not to touch ladies you don't have to touch." And the girl said, "Wow, I like to read it. What's what it says?" And she read it, and then she said, "I'm going to tell my partner, my boyfriend, whatever. Let's keep this 1 week."
None.
And not you. And the guy was, "You're crazy. There's no way." And the girl got upset. He said, "What do you mean? You only love me if you can touch me. If you cannot touch me, you cannot. There's no attraction." That's in their life. That's how it is. That all is physical pleasures. If not, they don't like it.
But for non-Jew, it's very different. They don't have to kill the meat.
I understand, but the idea.
Yeah, I understand.
So but for us, we know it's good for us, and it helps our marriages, it helps our families, it helps our mindset to be in the right mindset. I saw something interesting about, Torah says giving birth to a boy or to a girl. It says that brings a story that there was a lady, a very religious, good, God-fearing person, but didn't have children for many years. And after maybe 10 years, Hashem gave her only one son. So she was so happy that to have a child after 10 years that she was a different person. Always thanking Hashem and doing things for Hashem. And then she thought that if Hashem gave me a child after 10 years, must be I have to do something with it. She started to help other families who don't have children yet, to give them support and talk to them. So she said that she met somebody on the street she never knew, that she was very upset. She said, "Why are you so upset?" She said that I don't have children. 16 years married, no child. So I said that this lady started praying and praying and praying, and she hugged her so much and she gave her a lot of support. And the lady took this lady's number. And after 9 months, she called me, I have a child, I have a baby boy. And I know it's only because 9 months ago we met on the street and you prayed for me and you've been praying for me. So it says the story goes that many people answer like God answered like this. Why? Because a mother who couldn't have children and now she has a child, she's maximizing that experience of not having a child and praying for people who can't have children. That's the tefillah that gets accepted very fast because she knows the pain. She went through the pain. So she has a lot of kavanah. Baruch Hashem, I have a child, but other people don't have a child. I have to pray for them. He brings down many stories about people who couldn't have children, what they did. I saw that very interesting story about a child who couldn't have children. Oh no, the story is that okay. So before I go to the story, the Torah talks about Berit Milah, the sixth Parsha, on the 8th day. We know on Shabbat you do Berit Milah. If the baby is born on Shabbat, the Berit Milah will be on Shabbat, right? If Berit Milah, if baby is born on Yom Kippur, maybe you're born on Yom Tov or oh, so your Berit Milah was not on Yom Tov anymore. Yeah. Was it Shabbos? No, you don't know.
What if you were born on Friday night?
After candle and after sunset, after like it's dark,
Yeah,
it's called Shabbat.
it's called Shabbat, right? So it will be the Shabbat morning.
Yeah.
Just like if you were born Sunday night,
Right.
you will be Berit Milah will be Monday next Monday.
Right.
So 20 minutes after sunset is already for sure Shabbat. So how do we know they could cut somebody on Shabbat? You're not allowed to make someone bleed on Shabbat. So one of the 39th melachot that you're not allowed to do on Shabbat or Yom Tov or Yom Kippur is making someone bleed. Because this is Parsha. On the 8th day, no matter what, you have to do the bris. So now, if a baby was pushed off, you say it was born Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you cannot do that on Shabbat anymore. You cannot be on the 9th day. Also, if you're doubtful, let's say the baby was born Friday afternoon, you're not sure it was before sunset, after sunset, when exactly the baby came out,
You do it on Friday?
you do it on Sunday.
Sunday?
You can't do it on Friday because maybe it's not the 8th day yet. You cannot do it on Shabbat because it might have been on Friday.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Sunday.
Gets pushed up on Sunday. So if Sunday is a Yom Tov, will be Monday. If Monday is Yom Tov, will be Tuesday.
Really?
If
So Yom
So-
Tov
we
you
ne-
cannot
we-
do Berit?
So
it's a doubt,
Berit Milah only proceeds, only overtakes Shabbat, but the other, not the Yom Tov.
no, it does, but only if you know for sure.
Only on Yom for sure.
That 8th day, for sure, you do Berit Milah on 8th day.
So
So
when
if
do
you
it
have
on
a
Yom
doubt, so if you have a
So
doubt,
let's say if you know for sure it was you cannot push off a Berit Milah to Yom Tov. If the Berit Milah was
Oh, you
supposed to be
cannot
on
push
Friday
off.
or Shabbat,
because you're not sure.
if you're not sure, how can you do it on Monday? Because Monday is the Yom Tov.
but you said after sunset on Friday night it constitutes Shabbat.
If you know for sure,
Or if you know
let's
for
say
sure.
not too many people watch. They look at their watch as the baby is born. They are.
Maybe some
So it depends on the time.
record you can happen.
It depends. In a hospital, yes, but sometimes it's very it's on the rush. Babies are born in the ambulance. They're on the way to in the bedroom. They're late. She's too fast, or even they know the time, but in the timing you're not 100%
So if you're
sure.
not sure, it doesn't take.
Let's say
You're not gonna do it on Shabbat. And you're not
Right.
gonna
Let's
do it
say
on Yom Tov.
7:15
So if you're not
is
sure,
sunset. today is 7:21 sunset. The week was 7:28. There's a machloket. There's a debate between the rabbis. What exactly? Today is Friday or Shabbat? They won't do it on Friday or Shabbat. They will do it on Sunday.
ربع اون کسی که از شکم مادر درش میارن
It's C-section.
سیساکشن بکن اون چی؟
There's exception to that. We don't consider that to be a regular. It has to be a natural birth.
Okay, if it's not a natural birth,
Sunday.
so it would relate to Sunday.
And Sunday is the Yom Tov.
So it has to
Monday.
be natural if you want to do that Shabbat.
Right. Natural and only, for sure was born on 8th day. Some people call me, the baby was born on Friday. Can you come on Shabbat? I say, well, why? 8 days. They can't. Friday was born, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 8th day is Shabbat. No. You count the day.
Yeah.
You count the day.
You do it on Friday, no?
You do on Friday because if the baby is born on Friday,
My brother
We
was
can't.
born Friday night.
what time at night? Real night or dark?
Real night, it's like 11 p.m.
So for sure, was the Shabbat.
It was Shabbat. I wasn't there, but I heard. It
They
was
did on Shabbat.
They did on Shabbat.
My brother also was born on Shabbat.
Yeah.
Beitul on Shabbat too. But he has to be on Shabbat. We count the day of birth also as the first day.
And if you're born on Shabbat, then you do it on Shabbat.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
But you say 8 days. Shabbat,
So that's
Shabbat is 7 days, no?
We count the day
We
the
count
baby is
the
born as
Shabbat.
also.
Count the day.
I see.
Very important. You always have to ask, when was the baby born? They think, oh, it was born on Shabbat or on Friday. کاری دیگر رو بکن تا
چیزا؟
بعد از این.
برو چیزا بردار بذار بالا بردار بیا.
حالا کار دیگر رو استاد بکن صدیق سلامت باشی کار دیگر رو بکن تا برسیم به این. God bless you. Okay, so next it says that next. So that's the thing of Brit Milah, very important. They say Brit Milah on Shabbat. Some say you should pray that baby should not be born on Shabbat. You don't have to go through the whole Brit Milah on Shabbat. But if it's born, it's Shabbatia, it becomes more special.
More special?
I guess, if it's not to be on Shabbat, but once it's there, you have to do it. What can you do? You have to do Mitzvah Brit Milah. So the majority of the Parsha talks about Sarat. Sarat is a disease, a Jewish disease. It's the only Jewish disease. It didn't happen to non-Jews. And skin, spiritual disease that Hashem would bring on Jews who were guilty of certain averot, lashon hara. Some say that also if somebody was very stingy, didn't want to give tzedakah, would happen to that, would become metzora.
Still happens now?
We don't have it because too many people would be getting it. Too much lashon hara in the world, so Hashem stopped it. And how can you fix it? There's no korban nowadays. It's hard to bring a korban. So, but the main reason Gemara says is for lashon hara. You have to know lashon hara is a very, very severe, is a very serious avon, very serious chet. So it says sin, and a person should be very careful. You cannot talk bad of somebody. To keep our mouth shut, it's very hard in every way. A person has to control his mouth.
Gossiping considered
Huh?
lashon hara? Gossiping is
Yeah, everything you say. There's a very interesting story. He says that there was once a lady on a bus, and she's sitting on a bus, a very righteous lady, and the two girls behind her on a bus saying lashon hara about their friend who just got engaged last night. They said many, many bad things about the girl. She's like this, she's like that. Nevach, her future husband, he doesn't know what is coming. All the stuff, on the bus. This lady listening. She gets up and says, Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your talk because that boy is my son. I have to go tell him what he's getting himself into. And we never knew these things about the girl that we are Kala or the future daughter-in-law. I'm gonna go tell him, you better watch out. You better cut the relationship. We don't want to marry such a girl. And these two girls start saying, no, no, no. But we didn't mean it. We were, I say guzma. We were making things look bigger, not as bad. We're just talking. We're girls talk.
This is an
Yeah, yeah, kala shekala, and basically they were jealous that the friend is getting engaged, getting married, and they are not. And they start apologizing, and they say, "We're so sorry, we didn't mean." So, so Rabbi Rivson says that obviously that boy was not her son. She was just trying to teach them a lesson.
Oh.
You say that, this thing gonna happen. They're gonna, I've seen it myself here. I know a very good boy got engaged to a very good girl during planning the wedding. Some people sent messages, Lashon Hara, about the girl's family, I believe, and then the boy's family, and they, unfortunately, they canceled the wedding. They already were engaged. So that's severe Lashon Hara is. And Chafetz Chaim says we can make a calculation and see what the Lashon Hara is worse than every other Averah in the Torah. You have the three top Averot, three top sins, which is idol worship, killing somebody, and adultery. And that's why the first Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. The three top Averot, three top Chataim. Chafetz Chaim says the second Beit HaMikdash, Gemara says, it was because of Lashon Hara.
the second one.
Gossip, people talking bad about each other, and jealousy, and all stuff. So says Chafetz Chaim, the first Beit HaMikdash took only 70 years to be rebuilt, maybe 70 plus years. We had it again. But the second one, 2,000 years in exile and still not built. So which one is worse? Which one was harder to fix?
Lashon Hara.
So it must be much worse. Over there you had three averot, three sins. Now you have only one. This one is worse than the all three, and it's so hard to get it fixed that we're still here. We still don't get along. Look at the news. Look at the communities. People are always fighting, going against each other, and that was the cause for the destruction. So a person has to be very, very careful. Saying Lashon Hara is very, very, very wrong, and a person always has to be. First of all, people say, I say Lashon Hara, nobody will hear it. He's not going to find out. Nothing will happen. This lady wanted to teach that things can happen. You say Lashon Hara, somebody could lose his wife or her husband, his job, his house, his parnasa, his reputation, his friends. There's so many, can't get to a school, can't get to, your kids can't get to a school. They wanted to, many things happen from Lashon Hara. A person has to be very, very careful. It brings down that Rabbi Chaim Kanivsky said that that the Metzorah is only Sarat only came for Jews. Why? It's called a Jewish disease. Rahman al-Islam, lo aleinu, there are some Jewish diseases. There are some genetically diseases that only Jews have it. Right? There's one that Ashkenazim have it. What is it called? You get tested. Dor Yesharim, they test. There's some sort of Down syndrome that only exists in European Jews.
There is another disease.
And every boy and a girl, they get tested before they get married. Before they even want to make the shidduch, they get a test to make sure if they are positive or negative. And if they are both positive, they tell them don't get married. No matter what, they should not get married. There's certain genetic disease that it didn't happen in Sephardic countries, only in Europe happened. It's very famous. All the doctors know about it. You talking to a doctor, they know what it is. But besides that, this Mesora, Sarat, is only a Jewish disease. We'll get there. I don't know. We have to study it. So, says Rav Chaim Kanievsky, why is it a Jewish disease? Because Hashem expected us to be, not like other nations. Lashon Hara should not exist between Jews. Other nations are not expected to keep Lashon Hara, right? They could do what they want. They could say what they want. Hashem doesn't punish them. Only Jews are expected to keep their language clean, their mouth clean, not to say anything bad, not to say Lashon Hara about other people. So that's why Hashem put this disease. And Midrash says that even if there are some similar diseases between other nations, other skin diseases, not Sarat, other diseases. Midrash says the only reason Hashem put those diseases on other nations is that they shouldn't make fun of us and say, Jews bring all the diseases out to the world. So they have all of their own diseases. But Hashem wanted to only put disease for us to keep us, in check, and we shouldn't do something wrong. Here, so if there is any disease in the world, they shouldn't be there out there. Only for Jews should be Chas v'Shalom coming, because Hashem wants us to be, behaving, should be separate. So that's why he says when there's a sarat, they should go v'huva el kohen. They should go to a kohen. Since when a kohen is a doctor? Kohen working in Beit HaMikdash, nothing but medicine. So the whole point of sarat, a disease, was for a kohen to tell you, kohen was the rabbi of the generation. What's you doing wrong? Don't say lashon hara. Give tzedakah, do this, do that. And he said also a story that there was a little child that Rahman al-Islam, no one should know, was sick, and the doctor said, "There's no way for you for the baby to survive." A 3-year-old kid, and I'm sorry, I don't know how old it was. The father was a policeman who worked in a very religious city, and everybody loved him. He was a good guy, so he also became more religious. And when the son got sick, he asked the rabbis of the city to pray for him. The doctor said, "He's not going to survive. Can you please pray?" Everyone prayed, and there was a nest, there was a miracle. The little kid survived. People couldn't believe it that he's walking, everything's good. When he got back, the father asked him, "What can I get for you? What do you want?" So the kid said, there's a certain car called the Tractron. I'm not sure what kind of car it is. He said there's a car that doesn't have any doors. It's open all sides. That type of a car I want. So that's what I want. So the father bought him a car like that, and he went out, field trip, and unfortunately he got in an accident. He passed away. So people were going crazy. This kid was saved from this very bad disease in a miraculous way, and now he goes on a trip and he dies. He gets killed in the accident. So yes, Rabbi Zilberstein, what do you think about that? He said that there's a very famous Navi in Melachim, Elisha, right? Elisha and Shunamit. You know what Shunamit lady? Shunamit was a host of Elisha who gave him food and never had children. Elisha gave her bracha that next year she'll have a child. Miracle. She did have a child next year. A few years later, that little kid got sick, and he died. She called Elisha, "Elisha, come. you have to pray for my son to come back to life. And he did. Mechaya Mitim, he brought him back to life. So the Mefarshim asked, why did Hashem give this lady a child through a miracle and then killed him? If you want to keep him alive, don't give it to him. So Chazal say that little child was Chabakuk HaNavi later on. That child of Shunamit became Chabakuk. There's a Navi called Chabakuk. I think the kever, the tomb is in Iran.
Who is Habakkuk?
Habakkuk. Hazrat Habakkuk. One of the prophets. He has a book. He has a sefer. One of the Tanakh is. So he said that because that Navi, that child, came to the world because of prayers of Elisha, the parents should have always kept in touch with the Navi, with Elisha. Why did they leave him alone? No connection. So Hashem made him die, that they should call back Elisha, right? So he said that Chazal say, when you got something because a tzaddik, a righteous person prayed for you, Hashem wants you to keep the connection with the tzaddik. If you lose the connection, you lost the point. So Elizabeth told them, if Hashem gave this policeman the child back, and everyone says he's going to die, tzaddikim, the great rabbis of Bnei Brak, Yerushalayim prayed for him and he survived. What does Hashem want from the guy? Keep in touch. You give him a tracked wrong car. That's how you keep in touch? You send him away. Go have fun with the car. So Hashem, unfortunately, they didn't get the point why Hashem gave them the child. Okay, one last point, or maybe two more points. I said something about Imre Emet. So Torah says when a person becomes Mesorah, why he's Mesorah, why he has the Sora'at, he has to tear his clothes, he has to he cannot get a haircut, he has to let his hair grow, and he has to cover his face all over. And he has to tell people, I'm a tameh. And meantime that he's tameh, he has to be separated. He cannot. Meantime he's tameh, he cannot come to parties, he cannot come to shul. It has to be a lone place. Not only that, let's say if there are two people on Mesorah, they cannot sit together. They have to be isolated, quarantine, right? You cannot, like COVID, they cannot be together. They have to be separated completely. So Mefarshim say the laws of a Mesorah are very similar to the laws of an Avel. Avel is someone who lost his family member. He also cannot get a haircut. He also has to tear his clothes. He also is kind of secluded, alone.
What's the connection?
What's the connection between Avel and a Mesorah? Right? There's something worse about the Mesorah. If a Mesorah walks to a house, nobody can be there, but everything in the house becomes tameh too. Food is tameh, table is tameh, chair is tameh. You have to take everything to mikveh, right? So when Mesorah walks in, everybody has to get out. Because you are there, you come tameh too. That's like a real dead person. Because the only other example we have is a met, is a dead person. If that person is in a room, you are tameh, the food is tameh, the chair is tameh, all the kelim are tameh. So what's the connection between Mesorah and an Avel and a dead person? Chazal say, Mesorah chashuv kemet. A Mesorah is like a met, is like a dead person. Right? There are a few things that Chachamim say they are compared to a dead person. One is a Mesorah. One is somebody who doesn't have children. One is somebody who lost his money. Somebody who lost his position. Like a dead person. What else? Mesora, Michel Banim, Shalin Chassav, and there's one more too, I forgot. So, why is it so? So my Rabbi said that a dead person has one big disadvantage. What's the disadvantage? He stopped moving, stopped influencing, stopped having influence on other people. Dead. What are you going to do? Nothing. His hands are cut off. Right? He can't have, doesn't have any more feelings, nothing. He's gone. He's stopped. That's what the met is. So he said the same thing as the Misha, somebody who lost his money. He's also like, nobody's going to care about him. You will lose connection with him. He won't talk to you anymore. When you had money, everybody loved you. Now, who wants you? If you don't have anybody to carry your legacy, it's also like a dead person. Who's going to carry you over? Who's going to be your successor? But what happens to whatever you made? Not only money, all your, transfer over to somebody. So that's what Chazal says, like a dead person. Metzora, says that means he also lost everyone. What did he lose? He lost his heart. Like a met, like a dead person. He has no feelings. But if somebody can sit on a bus, say so many bad things about another girl, and she's gonna lose her husband, heart. You don't care. You don't care what's gonna happen to the other person. He or she might lose her parnasa, her future, her house, her shidduch, her community. Everyone is gonna lose. Because of your lashon hara. Some of the lashon hara, Mesora is also, Chazal say, the Rosh brings down that why the only tameh that has to be separated is a Mesora. Why? Because you had no feeling. You separate between people. You brought fight between husband and a wife. You brought fight between, you brought separation between two friends. You have to separate yourself too. You can't be. So Bedin will make sure that the Mesora will not be in any gathering. You have to be separate. You have to feel. You have no feelings. You have to take your own medicine. See how bad it is to be alone? You make other people alone, you have to be alone, right? So like a dead person, you have no feelings. So a normal met, somebody else has to mourn over him, right? If someone dies, his children, his siblings mourn over him, right? When a Mesora is Mesora, who mourns over himself? Who mourns over him? Him himself. He comes a novel for himself. He tears his own clothes. He lets his hair grow. He has to, be separated. You have to mourn over your heart. You have no heart. You don't care about other people. That's the tragedy of a Mesora. So that's why we have a lot of laws of a Mesora, like Avel, right? Like a mourner, and also like a Met. You have no heart. If someone doesn't have feelings, you don't feel other people pain. It's a very bad thing. So Hashem should help us not to become lashon hara people. Should watch our mouth. Sometimes it's too hard. Sometimes we lose, and we break the law. We say lashon hara, and we say, okay, once I said it, I'm going to keep saying. Right? If a person gets one slap on the face, he doesn't want to get more slaps on the face. Okay, one was enough. So even if a person, God forbid, said lashon hara, the earlier he stops, the better it is. Stop now. You don't have to get it worse and worse. That's a very important lesson of the Parsha. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, Baruch.